So guys, I guess to wrap up, first and foremost, I'd like to sincerely thank everybody in the Smarttech team that made today happen. Huge amount of effort went into it, and obviously our sponsors. I think one of the big takeaways I personally took from this is over the years we've had these conferences, and we've had vendors who've stood up on stage and they've tried to proclaim that they had a silver bullet to fix all of the cybersecurity problems of the world. Whereas today was very different. You had a lot of thought leadership on the stage. You had a lot of people talking about the wide and diverse nature of the challenges which they're facing and the type of methodologies that need to be applied to try and deal with these challenges. In particular, I thought that Christopher from the NCIS, an awful lot of what he talked about was absolutely on point, and it's something that resonates a lot in my own mind, and it's something that probably keeps us awake at night in Smarttech, is that a lot of organizations like to be able to demonstrate that they tick the box from a compliance perspective. But demonstrating compliance and actually being secure are two very different things. So the type of action that's needed around that. I found some of the conversations around AI were particularly interesting. Obviously, the world is on fire with ChatGPT and the innovation that's happening there. And brilliant technologies coming out like Get Visibility and other tools that are utilizing AI and ML to deal with these problems. But then on the other side, obviously, there's the potential to use those technologies to attack organizations, and that's something that we need to be aware of. Raluca opened up talking about the geopolitical tensions in the world, and you know, not trying to embellish this, but I'm under no illusion whatsoever that cyberspace is in a cyber war right now at an operational level, and I think it's at unprecedented levels. And the guys in the FBI and the NCIS probably even downplayed it in my mind, because the level of attacks that are going unannounced to the media globally is really profoundly scary. I think Katie in Irish Water spoke really well about threat modelling, about how you prepare for what's coming down the line. And I'm not sure if everyone knew what the Americans were talking about when they kept saying left of boom. So I'm sure some people got it, some people may not have. But effectively what that is the timeline, right? Between pre-breach, boom is the breach, and then what happens afterwards, right? And it's a brilliant concept, because if you think about the anatomy of a cyber attack or what happened with the HSE, while we love to say, you know, a huge amount of them happen by a sophisticated exploit of a vulnerability, in truth, most of it happens because someone clicks on an email, they get access, and then a guy like Eddie gets hold of your computer and you're dead. He navigates away, he's away around the network, they find the data, they exfiltrate it, and they encrypt you. And that's the reality of what happens. But when you talk about left of boom, it's about ensuring that when those guys get access, when that person clicks on the email, making sure that you've got the right controls, the right procedures in place to deal with it effectively. And then if you're unfortunate and boom does happen, then what does right of boom look like? Because you must remember that because of the regulatory framework that most organizations fall under now, you've got 72 hours to report it to the Data Protection Commissioner. And what do you really know that's happened to your organization in 72 hours? I mean, it's terrifying. What did they take? Are they still in there? Have they implemented a back door? It's a real problem for companies. So the right and left of boom concept is excellent, and it's definitely something that's worth looking at. And all in, I think it was, from my perspective, I think it was the best zero-day con we've ever done. Thank you all so much for coming. And hopefully the next 12 months between now and the next zero-day con is going to be a quiet one in cyberspace. Thank you very much.